I was going to the doctor every year around October or November to get my yearly checkup and my yearly mammogram. However, about 4 or 5 months later, I started feeling a heaviness in my right breast.
I was aware of it, and after she telling me that she had a lump in her breast, I got concerned, but I kind of kept it to myself, like the feeling, but urged her to go and have herself checked and, to see what it really was. Well, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2011. I had an aggressive tumor. Well, I was frightened real frightened on several occasions because when she was diagnosed with cancer first, then they tell me she in stage 3. I was fearful.
I had a pity party. I kept asking, and I had a pity party. I'm thinking not necessarily by finding out about it, because I've dealt with cancer with my grandmother and mother, but my pity party came with the way the doctor told me that I had cancer. And I realized that at 72 years old, I shouldn't be sitting here asking God why me. Those kids on TV had never enjoyed life. I've had my life, even if I had to go at that particular time. So I realized that I really didn't have nothing to question God about. So at that time, the pity party stopped.
It really took a great effect. It affected me a whole lot. I think I suffered more than she did, because at night I just didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I learned to pray. I prayed often, all through the night. Every time she would grunt, "Darling, what's wrong? You all right? How you feel?" But it really took a load off of me. Every time I really think about it, I get full. That's just what she went through. She went through a lot, and just to see her suffer like that, and her very first time that I can remember that she's ever been ill to that effect. Right now, like I said, I thank the Lord for it, but it really took a toll on me, and if it wasn't for my children, my daughter moved back in with us. My son came from Washington and stayed here with us. I have another son here in Fayetteville that was here every day. The friends that would come to the door and they said, "Jessie is available, can I speak with her?" Let me check. I would call up to her. She said, "Yeah, it's okay." She would come down and she'll get in that kitchen and get to talk and forget she had cancer. It did me all the good in the world to hear the doorbell ring, because I know someone was coming, and she get involved with people like, she get to talking and laughing, and it was amazing. And then after they leave, she'll run on back up to her chair, and she'll sit there, and I'll go up and I say, "Baby, you want anything? You need anything?" She'll just lay in her chair, and she's just weak. I can see it. I mean, it just was all over her face. And then when we would give her breakfast, she couldn't eat. I said, "Baby, try to eat something." I could see her just playing with her food, things like that, but it was just hurting to see her not able to eat. And I introduced her to the insurers. I believe that helped just praying a lot. That drink, it really, I think that's the only thing she had. And she would, a friend of ours came over and bought a NutriBullet, and then we started buying fruits and vegetables and things like that, and we started giving her all kind of juice and things like that. We just thought, my daughter, she'll get on, she said, "Daddy, this is good. This is good." Everything she'll say, it was good, I'll run to the store and get it.
We sing, our family sing. and we would get in that room, and we would we would get a song. A friend of ours, Miss Octavia, she would come by, and we would get in that room, and we would just sing and sing. So they decided that she would give up her place and move back in to help me, and that's what they did. She said, "Mama, it would be more strain and stress off me if I lived here with you, and I could be here when you need me." My dad called me, and I heard his voice crack, and I kind of knew what was going on and what it probably was. And he told me that he had just gotten the news about Mom, and they were still at the office, the doctor's office, and it was just devastating. It was very much devastating. I just kind of knew what I needed to do, and it was not a question. It was a sacrifice. Just moving away, moving back in, and making that decision to come back home to help my mother through what I knew that she had to go through. Well, being a caregiver is it's a mighty role, especially in this family, as I said, because my mother is she's the rock, and when you have the rock crying out, what do you do? And so I knew that I had to kind of take on her position and take up some of the slack. She's she cooks, she does it all here, and she's the go-to person. And so with her being her health failing so suddenly, it wasn't like I said, it wasn't a question. Being a caregiver I just knew I had to draw strength, and I knew where my strength, and that was the thing my mother taught us. My parents taught us where to get our strength from, and that's from the Lord. We've been going to church and involved in the church forever. That was just one thing we had to do. That and going to school and get our education. So being a strong person in the church and having a relationship with God, I knew that my strength was going to be coming from Him. So I had to trust and have faith, which was probably the hardest thing about being a caregiver, is to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And as much as I didn't see it at first, as time progressed and even things got harder and harder for her, the more and more that was, the more and more I prayed, and the more and more I saw my prayers answered. I think one of the things that I didn't want my mother to go through was, my mother has always been a woman who carries herself in a certain manner when she's out. She loves dressing up, and that's where I get it from. She loves dressing up. She loves looking good, and I knew that the cancer was getting to her so much that it's taking away her identity. But what I had to make my mother understand was her heart is her identity. What God really wants is for you to carry for you to be you. And He wants people to look at you and see that, she must be going through cancer, but she's confident enough to walk out in this world without a wig or with her hair, with no hair. And we would just go shopping and still do those girly things, getting the nails done. She couldn't get her nails done because of the cancer eating away the color of her nails, and she had a problem with that because she was so used to being that woman and being able to do those things that it was just a big drastic change for her. I just had to take on the role. I had to be Mom. I had to be the rock, and so my brothers respected that. So it was just being there when she needed us.
My mother's the type of person, she doesn't want me to worry, and not wanting me to worry, she's worrying for me. And I knew she said, yeah, I'm going to the doctor to see about a lump, but no, you're going to a doctor to see about cancer and stuff like that. And I immediately
I immediately knew something wasn't right. Yeah, when I found out about my dad, I was up in Maryland also, and I immediately busted out in traffic crying and had to pull over to the side. And as I pulled over to the side of the road thinking about Daddy, I was like, this is the only man that I know, have known, and he's a good man, you know. And I try to follow in certain footsteps, but he got big shoes, so it's hard to fill Daddy's shoes. But I try to be the best man I can be. It really made me come clear to myself that they're not going to be, your parents aren't going to be here forever, and with them knowing that they're not going to be here forever, you have to make your own way as a man, as a woman, and as a family. So, you know, I think we started even blending a little closer as a family. Mom was harder because, I don't mind saying, I'm a mama's boy. I'm a mama's boy all the way. I admit to it. I'm a mama's boy who knows how to make his own decisions. One thing I can truly say that happened with all of us, Mom coming down with that affected each and everybody in the family. But we knew how much of a matriarch she is and how much we depend on her for just talks, conversation, financial, all of that. We lean to our parents a lot for guidance, and we trust, because it says in the Bible, you know, honor your mother and your father, for your days will be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And I always rode on that biblical verse. I knew that mom and dad always ate pretty decent food, pretty good, but it was time, I thought, time to eat different. There were days where I would cook food for her, and she couldn't eat it, and every day I would cook her something, and I would bring it to her, and she couldn't eat, and she would cry because she couldn't eat, and she wanted to eat, and I would not let her see me cry because I knew she was trying not to let us see her cry. And with the help of people, friends, family, strangers, that's what helped bring her through all of this. And I know it was. I know with God, but dealing with people that you tried to be good to, friendly with, feed, help, or what have you, it shows that it all comes back to you as long as you try to do the correct and right thing by people, God's people, the way I see it.
I was leaving the car wash, and she never called me, so I called her, and it was almost like she didn't want to tell me, but she ended up saying, baby, I have cancer. And when she told me that, I heard her crying in the back of the house. I just lost it. I called a friend of mine, a classmate of mine, because I was nervous. And the time I was listening to the song, I can't complain, I won't complain. And I was coming down Murchison Road, but I had to get myself together first before I drive. Going down Murchison Road, headed to Mama's house. And when I got here in the front of the house, I had to actually stop crying before I came in here because I'm a mama's
I didn't want her to, I had to be strong for her. I didn't want her to see me crying. But that was probably the most difficult time of my life. Our parents raised us to be tight. We just had to be even tighter than what we already were. We just had to come together as a family and find out what was the best route to take. The prayers, the many friends, it taught me how to be a better person, a better man. Told myself anything was happening to my parents, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna take care of my parents. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna do this as a family. Like I said, it was prayer. Prayer changed everything. Inspired them as well to see the journey that we was going through. Some of my friends didn't have relationships with their parents, but seeing what we was going through with our parents, and there was always, this house was the hangout house back in the day, and it still is, or whatnot, but just being supportive. There have been times that I would sit on one side of the bed, and I would just look over at my mom, and she would rub her hair, the hair would just come out. It was just, I couldn't allow her to see me cry. It was very tough. That's what I say. Ain't no dad like Sam McKenney. I said before me that the things that he was going through really made marriage vows very positive. You go before the preacher to death do you part. I mean, no death came upon him, but he was there the whole time. Knowing at one point that God was teaching us how to all come together as one, and that we had to be there regardless of the end results. We had to be there. The good times outweigh the bad times.
And you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna combat the situation, and pray about it, long and hard about it, and let God lead you, along with the people that think that you're worth saving, your support system, because you're gonna have to have that support system. You need God, but you got to have that support system.
I have the best group of girlfriends and guy friends. And I don't just mean the E.E. Smith family. I mean my sorority sisters. I mean my church friends, my friends that graduated at other schools during the time I graduated, friends that went to college with me. We just had people in all the right places at all the right times.